Welcome to this deep dive. We've got some really interesting material here today, looking into that inner conflict we sometimes feel. Trying to figure out if a feeling is like genuine intuition pointing the way,
Yeah.
or if it's maybe just old fears holding us back.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a common experience, isn't it? Trying to navigate those signals.
Absolutely. And this exploration, especially thinking about it through, well, certain therapeutic lenses like Gestalt,
Hmm.
it feels really useful for understanding ourselves better.
It does. And what becomes clear is that it's not just about sticking a label on a feeling, fear, or intuition. It's much more subtle than that.
Right.
It's about really recognizing where these signals come from, what their quality is. So our aim here isn't really to give you neat definitions,
No, definitely not.
but more to help cultivate a deeper awareness of how these inner voices actually work inside you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, our mission today is to really get to the heart of how you, the listener, can start telling these apart in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to look at how the timing seems crucial. Is it about now or is it an echo from the past?
Yeah.
And we'll also tune into the body, the wisdom there, how physical feelings can be like a compass.
Definitely.
And then finally, that whole piece about making choices, even when things feel uncertain, taking responsibility.
It's a big one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's unpack this. The material
Mm-hmm.
really stresses the power of being present, focusing on the here and now. Why is that so foundational when we're trying to sort out fear and intuition?
Well, it's fascinating because fear, so often, it kind of hijacks our attention, doesn't it? Pulls it away from now.
Uh-huh.
It's either like replaying old tapes, oh, remember that time it went wrong, it'll happen again, or it throws us into the future, imagining all sorts of worst-case scenarios.
Yeah, the disaster reel.
Exactly. But intuition seems deeply rooted in this moment, in the current reality. It's like a direct response to what's actually unfolding right now.
That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like fear is stuck on a loop,
Mm-hmm.
old anxieties or future worries.
Mm-hmm.
So practically then, how do we stay anchored in the present when those familiar worries start bubbling up?
Well, the sources talk about something we could call contextual awareness, really looking closely at the specifics of the situation right now.
Okay.
Not what might happen, not what did happen back then, but what's tangible, what's real in this very moment.
Like focusing on.
Things like your breath,
Mm-hmm.
noticing the rhythm of it, the actual sensations in your body right now, what's around you in your immediate environment. These are all anchors, they pull you back.
Right, like hitting a reset button mentally.
Yeah, kind of, brings you back to the present ground.
Okay. And that leads really nicely into the body piece, doesn't it? The idea that our bodies are talking to us all the time. How can we get better at understanding that language, especially for telling fear and intuition apart?
Yeah, the body is central here. It's not just
Yeah.
this thing carrying our head around. It's actively experiencing, processing, sending signals constantly. And intuition, it often shows up as a feeling of maybe openness or ease, a sense of alignment in the body, like a quiet yes that resonates physically.
Like a lightness, maybe.
Could be lightness, yeah. Or just a calm knowing. Whereas fear tends to manifest as a constriction, tension, unease.
Oh yeah, the classic knot in the stomach.
Exactly, or tight shoulders, maybe shallow breathing. Those are pretty common physical signs of fear kicking in.
So it's really about paying attention not just to the thoughts, but the whole physical experience alongside them.
Mm-hmm.
That feels important.
Very. It's a whole body-mind thing. The sources even suggest actively doing this when you face a decision.
How so?
Like bring the situation to mind, that choice point where you feel torn,
Mm-hmm.
and then scan your body. Where do you actually feel the tension?
Oh yeah.
Is it sharp? Is it dull?
Yeah.
Heavy? Tight? Just noticing those sensations without judging them,
Yeah.
they can start to tell you what the underlying feeling might be.
So shifting from just thinking about it to actually feeling it out physically.
Exactly, feeling the landscape inside.
Okay, but here's something. Sometimes fear doesn't feel like constriction, right? Sometimes it can feel really urgent, almost exciting even. That could easily be mistaken for intuition. How do we start to pick those apart?
That's a really crucial point. It brings up the quality of the sensation and maybe the impulse behind it.
Okay.
So yes, both fear and intuition can create energy, but the energy of intuition often feels, well, more expansive maybe, sustainable.
Expansive, how do you mean?
Like it opens you up. It might invite curiosity, exploration, moving towards something, whereas fear's energy can feel more frantic, kind of jagged, driven by needing to get away from a perceived threat.
Ah, Okay, so one pulls you forward with openness, the other pushes you back with urgency.
Often, yes, intuition tends to lead towards engagement, maybe growth, while fear often leads to contraction, wanting to shut down, protect. So noticing that directional pull towards or away can be a really useful clue.
Right, right. And then there's this other layer the sources bring up, unfinished business, old stuff from the past. How does that make it harder to hear intuition clearly?
Ah, yes. Unfinished business. This is where it gets tricky. Because unresolved past stuff, especially things with strong emotions or needs that weren't met,
Hmm.
they can create these deep patterns of fear. And these patterns get triggered really easily in the present, even if the current situation doesn't actually justify that big reaction.
So like an old wound gets poked.
Exactly. Say you felt betrayed in a past relationship. Now a new situation comes up that requires vulnerability. Boom. You might get this huge wave of fear that feels like a warning, like intuition saying danger.
Right.
But really, it could just be the echo of that old pain, not an accurate reading of this new person or situation at all.
Wow. So past experiences can act like distorting lenses, making us see threat where there might not be any, or at least not the kind the fear is screaming about.
Precisely, you put that well. Unresolved past can be like master illusionists in our inner world, dressing up old fears as urgent warnings for totally new scenarios.
Okay, so that brings us back to why that contextual awareness is so vital then.
Absolutely. Asking yourself, okay, this strong feeling I'm having, is it really about what's happening right now? Or does it feel familiar, like an echo from then and there? That question alone can help untangle things.
That's a really helpful question to hold. Okay, so the final piece here seems to be about embracing responsibility, even with uncertainty. It's so easy to want guarantees before we act, isn't it? But life isn't usually like that. How does responsibility connect to telling fear and intuition apart?
Well, the material points out that intuition often nudges us towards the unknown, right? Towards stepping outside what's comfortable. And that always involves some uncertainty.
True.
Fear, meanwhile, its job is often to keep us safe, which usually means staying within the familiar, even if that familiar place isn't actually serving us anymore.
So it keeps us stuck sometimes.
It can. So embracing responsibility here means acknowledging that we are the ones choosing, even without all the answers. It's about being willing to step forward, maybe guided by that quieter, intuitive sense, even if fear is right there alongside us.
So not trying to banish the fear necessarily, but acknowledging it. Maybe even thanking it for trying to protect us. But then consciously choosing our action anyway,
Yeah.
based on that deeper sense.
Exactly. You acknowledge its presence, but you don't automatically let it drive the bus. And this ties into how we view outcomes too.
How so?
Well, if we see outcomes, even the ones that aren't what we hoped for, as just information, as learning opportunities on our journey.
Rather than failures.
Right. Instead of definitive proof we made the wrong choice. When we adopt that perspective, fear starts to lose some of its power. We're less paralyzed by making a mistake because we know every step teaches us something.
That feels really empowering. Okay, so just to try and bring this all together for everyone listening, it really sounds like figuring out fear versus intuition isn't about like turning one off and the other one up.
No, not at all.
It's more about developing a deeper, maybe more aware relationship with both feelings,
Yeah.
both parts of us. And being really present seems absolutely core to being able to tell a difference.
That's a great way to put it. Presence is key. And maybe just to recap those main steps we talked about.
Yeah, let's do that.
First, that contextual awareness. Really asking, is this feeling about the here and now, or is it an echo from the then and there? Maybe think about a recent decision you made. Were your feelings mostly about that situation, or did old stuff feel like it was playing a part?
Okay, good prompt. And second,
Second, bodily resonance. Tuning into your body's wisdom. Intuition often feels like alignment, ease maybe, while fear tends to bring tension, constriction. So next time you're deciding something, just pause. Notice the physical feelings. How does your body react to thinking yes versus thinking no?
really listening physically.
Yeah.
Got it. And the last one.
And third, embracing responsibility. Making choices even when you're not sure how it'll turn out, and seeing whatever happens as learning. Maybe reflect on, what are you willing to risk, just a little, for your own growth? And can you start seeing fear not as an enemy, but maybe just a companion on the road?
A companion. Interesting. Okay, so here's a final thought maybe for you to take away. How might really practicing being more present day to day start to shift your ability to hear those quieter whispers of intuition, even when fear is making a lot of noise?
Yeah.
It's definitely an ongoing journey, isn't it? This whole process of
Mm.
self-discovery. Keep exploring that inner landscape.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing your sources with us, and thanks to everyone for taking this deep dive with us today into fear and intuition.